start the new unit for math because we're not going to take the test today. The test will be tomorrow instead. So we're just going to start the new unit. So we're going to be doing page 53, 54, 55, 56. And then for homework tonight, I'm actually going to send home with you the paper that's very much like the test. So that is reviews page 4950. That will help you review for the test, which will be tomorrow. All right, so we're going to be starting a new unit. It's a very fun unit. In fact, it's a short unit. So we'll be having the test for this in just like a week and a half. All right, what's a stalagmite? Let's look what this is called. Haley watched the light from her hard hat bounce around as she followed Sophia through the cave. Horatio was nestled in her backpack pocket, wearing his own little hard hat. What do you enjoy about being a guide here at Mammoth Cave National Park? Haley asked. I love the earthy smell and the surprising beauty of the caves, Sophia answered, smiling. I also enjoy using math to work here in the caves. I loved math in school, and now I get to use it. Haley tilted her head in curiosity. What kinds of things do you use math for? Sophia pondered. Well, one way we're using math today is counting the number of stalagmites, the spikes you see coming up from the cave floor. When we're done counting, we can update the guidebook for the different sections of Mammoth Cave. That's great, said Haley. I've been using math a lot too. I'm traveling to all 59 U.S. national parks in 59 weeks. And I had to do a lot of math to figure out how much it would cost and whether I had enough money saved. But I have come to realize that as great as math is, it just can't help us with some things. Sophia frowned. What do you mean? She asked. I think I can use math for just about anything. Haley paused. How do I explain this? She thought. Then she began to pray. God, I don't know if Sophia is a Christian. Please give me wisdom and help me explain that math can't tell us how to know you. Haley took a deep breath. Well, math is useful for many things, but it doesn't have answers for everything. There are just some things math can't do. For example, math does not tell us who God is. Who God is? Sophia repeated, looking a little confused. Right, Haley nodded. No matter how many cool math concepts we learn, no matter how much math we find in God's creation, math still can't help us find out how we can know God personally. So how can you know him? Sophia asked, still puzzled. We can learn about him by reading the Bible, Haley continued. God is gracious and kind, and Jesus made it possible for us to get to know God personally. Sophia still looked confused. How? She asked. Jesus is God, Haley explained. He came to earth and became human to teach us about God, and ultimately, he died for us so that we can know God on a personal level, kind of like a friend. Sophia nodded. Interesting, she said. I haven't really thought about that before, and I definitely don't know God like a friend. You'll have to tell me more about that. But first, would you help me figure out the stalagmite count? Haley nodded eagerly. Okay, Sophia said. So we found 13 stalagmites in Crystal Lake, 19 in Onyx Cave, 24 in Outlaw Cave, and 9 in Lost River Cave. You can help me put those numbers on a tally chart. They sat down and began making tallies by the light from their hard hats. But after a minute, Haley had an idea. You know, I bet there's a better chart or graph we could put this information on so we can compare the number of stalagmites more easily, she suggested. Let's figure it out. All right, so this is going to be a fun unit on tables and charts and different kinds of graphs. So I need you to look first of all at page 54. It's on the other side of the picture that we just read the story for, so just turn that paper over. By the way, those things that they're talking about going up on the ground, those are stalagmites. The ones that come down from the ceiling are called stalactites. All right, so let's look first of all at the story problem. All right, so the first story problem we have, I need to get my other book so I can read it more easily. That's not the book I need. Haley, Horatio, and Sophia found 13 stalagmites in Crystal Lake Cave and 24 in Outlaw Cave. how many stalagmites did they find in both caves? So what are we gonna do first? Yes.
Put them both together and add them.
That's right, we're just gonna add them. So you're gonna write them going across, but I do want you to write them going up and down to actually add them. So write them going across. What's the first number you should be using?
13.
13. And the other number is?
24.
24. Actually, you probably could add that up in your head by adding up the ones column first and then the tens column
Yeah.
without making it go up and down. So let's see if you can do that. How many of you know you add the one column and you put it in the ones column, and you add the tens column and you put it in the tens column. There's no renaming, so there's no reason to have to add it going up and down. Alright, so what'd you get for your answer?
37.
37. And what's your label gonna be?
They found 37 stalagmites.
Stalagmites. Copy that word carefully. That is big words. Stalagmites. 37 stalagmites. Is there anybody that didn't get 37? Did you get 37?
Well, I don't know.
You haven't even done the problem yet. Why?
Because I didn't.
Because you're daydreaming?
No, because
I read the story problem. I said, what are we gonna do? People said add. You should be writing it going across right now. Why are you just sitting there? Right now, let's go. I'm not sure why you're just sitting there. Okay, we're gonna go on to the next problem, the one right beside it. You need to stop working on that and go on to the next problem, because you're making people have to wait on you because you weren't doing what you should have been doing with the class. Please be with us now, and you can go back and finish that later. All right, now look at number 2. They found 19 stalagmites in Onyx Cave and 9 in Lost River Cave. How many stalagmites did they find in both caves? Again, what are you gonna do? Add. All right, so this time it's 19 plus 9. This time there is some renaming, so maybe if you're not sure what to do, you should go ahead and write it going up and down so you can do the renaming. But if you can do the renaming in your mind, then do so. And I have one person blurt out the answer right now. I've got too many people still working on it. You know the answer already though? Good.
I know.
Get busy writing going up and down. Since you can't think of the answer, get busy right now. Adding it up. Put 19 plus 9 right now. So add it up. And what is the label going to be on that one also?
Stalagmites.
Stalagmites again. Same label. Stalagmites, because they ask how many stalagmites. That's the ones column, put it in the ones column. Ones column plus the ones column, put it in the ones column. Quickly. This is your ones column, this is your ones column. Add them together and put it in the ones column. Thank you. Now add up your tens column. Tens column and tens column and the tens column. Now that's your answer, and it's stalagmites. All right, now I'm going to show you some pictures of some of the charts we're going to be using. First of all, let's review. Serving God with math, we have learned that math is a tool to help people work. We've learned that math shows the world is designed. And we've learned that math helps people help people. But today we're learning that number 4, math does not have all the answers. And that's what it says at the top of your paper. Math does not have all the answers. All right, so on our tables and charts, one of the tables and charts we're going to be learning is a picture graph. Another one is called a line plot. Another one is called a coordinate graph. And another one is called a circle graph. We're also going to be doing a bar graph, which is on your paper today, and a tally chart. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is the tally chart. Alright, so the first thing we need to know is Crystal Lake Cave. So for Crystal Lake Cave, can you tell me how many stalagmites were in Crystal Lake Cave? There were 2-story problems. One of them gave us that number.
28.
Ew. Crystal Lake Cave. Crystal Lake Cave. Look at Crystal Lake Cave again. How many were in Crystal Lake Cave?
13.
13. So we're going to, right beside Crystal Lake Cave, we're going to make tally marks. So does everybody see the thing that says stalagmites and it says caves and it says Crystal Lake Cave? And underneath tallies, or where it says tally, we're going to make tally marks. So for 13, we would do, look, please, if you don't know how to do tally marks, we would do 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5 goes from the top of the first one to the bottom of the fourth one. Then we do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, from the top of the first one to the bottom of that. And that would make 5. And you can count groups of these like this, by 5s. Now we have how many so far?
5.
No.
10.
I've done it twice, so we have 10. This is 5, this is 5. So how many more do I need to do?
3.
3 more. So just do 3 more. And then at the end, they actually wanted you to write the real number. So under the total, you're going to write 13. All right, the next one is Outlaw Cave. Raise your hand if you can tell me Outlaw Cave.
24.
24. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. By Outlaw Cave, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th one goes from the top of the first to the bottom of the last. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. Now we have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. 5, 10, 15, 20, and now I need to make
4.
4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, but don't draw a line connecting them. And then for total, you're going to actually write 24. All right, the next cave they list is Onyx Cave. Raise your hand, tell me Onyx Cave had how many? Like,
9.
no. Georgia?
19.
19. Onyx Cave was 19. All right, so start with 1, 2, 3, 4, connect it, that makes 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, connect it, that makes 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, connect it, that makes 5. 5, 10, 15, how many more do I need?
4.
4 more. 16, 17, 18, and 19. And then at the total, you're going to 19. Elise, you want to tell me about Lost River Cave? How many is Lost River Cave? 9. They were putting a number first, so I think it confused you. All right, so 9. So this time we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect it, that makes 5. And then we need 1, 2, 3, 4. And then go to the total and put 9. All right, now you're going to need your color pencils now because we're going to color in the bar graph to show a picture of this on a bar graph. So right below that, they put the same exact cave, but this time you're going to color in the little squares going across to make a bar, and you will stop it at the right place. For example, we said that Crystal Lake Cave was what? 13. So you're going to color the graph going across. Now notice they don't do every number. What are they counting by? 2s. So where does 13 come in between?
12 and 14.
12 and 14. So you're going to color up to that line that's in between the 12 and the 14. So go ahead and put a line right there saying this is where I'm going to stop, and then color that whole thing in, that whole bar in, so that you are stopping at number 13. That is in between the 12 and the 14, because every other line they're putting a number, so they're counting by 2s. They have 0 right at the beginning. Then they 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So the in-between numbers would be your odd numbers. They don't have them, but you still need to stop at 13. Now, this is what you can do. You don't have to. You can color each bar a different color, or you can make them all be the same color. But if you want to switch colors after you color in 13 for what was it again? Crystal Lake Cave. Then you can switch colors and do the next bar a different color and makes your bar graph more colorful, more fun. Yes. You see the bar graph below? You're gonna color the bar till you get to the 13th line. See, they don't have a 13, do they? The 13 comes in between 12. So this bar, go across. So you're going across till you get to where 13 will be. Right here. And you're gonna stop there. So you're gonna color all that. So you're making a bar. Anybody else not understand? Yeah. You're on Crystal Lake Cave. Go across until you get to number 13. That's the one that should be 13. This one. So you can erase that. Anybody else? You're good? I'm just gonna come around and check. Make sure you're coloring neatly. Slow down. I haven't started that one yet, so why are you? Hunter, this is Crystal Lake Cave, so you need to go over till you get to the 13th. There's 12. This one has the 13 because that's 14. This is where you're gonna stop. You're gonna color this whole entire bar up to that point. Yes. Understand? I don't know what you think you're doing there. This coloring number 1 and number 3. That's not 13. You do color the whole entire bar. Okay. Please stop working ahead. Number 2, the second bar is Outlaw Cave, which is 24. So you're pretty much gonna have to go all the way to the end, aren't you? Because what's the last number they give us?
24.
24. So you just need to color that whole entire bar. Across from Outlaw Cave, just go all the way to the end of the bar, because the end of the bar is number 24. Yes.
I was gonna do the next one.
We're gonna just call them out because we already did them on this, so everybody knows all the numbers so far, because they are going in order again. It's the same order as the tally chart. All right, so the next one is gonna be how many? 19. So you need to come in between what 2 numbers?
18, 20.
18 and 20, yes. So draw a little line so you know to stop there. And the next one is gonna be 9, and 9 comes between
10 and 10. 8
what?
and 10.
8 and 10. So stop it between 8 and 10. That last thing we have on the bottom, it says, the team used math as a tool to gather information. Math can help people do many things and solve many problems. What can math not do? Math cannot tell people who God is. So write that word God in right there.